This is Tammy Morrison, and I am live. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me do a little housekeeping and share this out to my communities. Let me do a little housekeeping. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. All right. Okay. All right. I'm super excited to be here today. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm super excited to be here today with Awaken the Healer Within. Y'all, that is my outside. I have got to shut that window. Hold on. Yeah. All right. So there was like no noise when I was in here earlier, not online. Of course, now that I'm online, everybody wants to make noise and have all these issues. All right, so I am here with Awaken the Healer Within, which this is if you watched me before or if you haven't, this is my spirit-led series that spirit has led me to bring forth just to help people to connect to their healer that is within each and every one of us. So, for those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Tammy Morrison. My business is Unleashing Your True Self, and I help people to connect to their divinity, to connect in order to get rid of the limiting beliefs that you have. The things that are keeping you stuck, keeping you from freedom, keeping you from living your best life, keeping you sick. These are things that I help people with. So, moving on from there, I'm not going to be before you long. I just wanted to come and just really talk about some things in terms of healing because a lot of times people don't realize the things that are keeping them bound and stuck in their life. They don't realize that there are so many things that you can do that are within your control to help you heal. Now, my husband and I had a conversation and I asked him a question. I said, now, every time you go to the doctor and you complain about something, what do? They give you a pill. They don't ask you what's going on in your life and what has changed that this thing has happened to you. Something new. You're having problems with your stomach, you're having problems, with your head, and they tell you, oh, it sounds like irritable bowel syndrome. We'll take this pill, we'll try this and see if that works. And then come back in a couple of weeks and we'll evaluate it and see if it helped you. Now, that is not going deep and seeing what is the root, seeing when this thing started for you, looking into your life to see what is going on, to understand why you're having these issues and these problems. And so that is one of the things that I decided that, well, actually, I wasn't even decided, I was called to do this. And so I love to help people to go deep and see what is the reason why you're having this issue and to see if we can resolve it on another level. Because the thing is there's always issues and things that are happening in our lives. Sometimes we don't realize how devastating they can be. We don't realize that. We just, we keep moving because sometimes that's what we have to do. And in my life, I can say that I have done that many times. Because for me, the most amazing tool that I had in my life was repression. So I repressed a lot of shit. I repressed a lot of stuff down. I just pushed it down because I knew that if it hung around on the surface, that it would affect me negatively and it would affect other people in my life negatively. So I repressed. And so that is something that I know well, and I can recognize it across the room if people are doing that. And so that is one of the things that I know is, for me, it was a coping mechanism. It helped me to keep moving. It helped me to not kill people and things like that. So, I just push it down, but it's not healthy. And after a while, it's going to start coming up, and it's going to start affecting you in your life, especially as we get older. I've noticed that as I've gotten older, there are all kinds of ways that things that I have repressed are affecting me now, and things that I actually have healed and am healing in my life. So, because I believe that healing is a journey, and I'm not down on Western medicine, because, if you break your leg, then you might need to go have it set, or, get surgery, put a cast on it, whatever it is that you need to do. However, I know that there are times when we can go into ourselves, go into our own spirit, and help to heal ourselves. And so this is why I'm here having this discussion with you today. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the date of this particular um, session that I'm doing right now, this particular series, and I'm going to start doing it on Tuesdays, because it's just going to work out better for my life, because I work the weekends and it just seems to be a lot on me to come on Mondays and do it. So I'm going to change the day, for me. So I'll come on Tuesdays, and I'll still try to do it somewhere around the middle of the daytime, 12 noonish, 1, somewhere around there. So this way, you'll know when to find me and when I'll be on, and you can always catch the replay, because the energy in the replay is the same. Just in case you were wondering, the energy in the replay is just the same. So today, I'm really wanting to talk about, how we begin to recognize things that are going on in our life, and some ways that we can help ourselves in order to tune in. So, one of the ways that we can do that is through journaling. We can journal. You can get a piece of paper, you can do it on your phone. There are a lot of people that are phone junkies and they like to do everything on their phone. I must admit, I do love the notes on the phone. I have an Apple product, so it's notes. I think in the Samsung it's something else. I can't remember because I haven't used it in a while. But it's another thing that you can put your notes into. And so you can actually, write on a piece of paper, and this is what I advise a lot of my clients to do, is write down, what do I want, on the top of the piece of paper, and then sit with it. Sit and see what comes up for you, what shows up. Because the thing is the answers are inside of us. All the answers are inside of us. The questions that you have, the answers are inside of you. You just have to go get them. You have to sit down with enough time to just relax and allow the flow, so that you can receive the answers that you're asking for. Hey, Tracy, thank you for joining. Oh, I love it. Watching from YouTube. So, as you are, sitting with yourself, and as you write down the questions, whatever question you have, I advise people to ask, right off the rip, when they get started with this process, what do I want? Because many times we are so caught up in our lives and doing the things that we have to do, and if we have to go to work, doing those things, we have to take care of kids, doing those things, and all of this stuff that comes up. If you have things that you do at your church, because Lord knows there are so many things that have to be done there, and so you may be a volunteer, you may volunteer with the homeless, or you may have a passion to do whatever it is that you do, but there are so many things that you could be doing. And so, one of the things that I advise people to do is slow down, slow down. And I can say that because that is something I have to work with myself on. Because, as my husband says, I do everything fast. And so I expect everybody else to do everything fast. And so that was one of the things that I had to work on myself with, to slow down. And just because it's not fast does not mean it's not good. So slow down. Now there are some things that you have to do fast, because when opportunities present themselves, sometimes you have to do it fast. Like we had this opportunity with Mupo Entertainment just recently, where it was $2.99 to join up until the 15th. Well, now it's the 16th, so it's now $7.99. So if you were wanting to get in on that, you missed that. You missed it. So now you have to grab it for $7.99, which is still an incredible value. However, $2.99, $7.99 is like $500 difference. For my money, I would have took the $2.99 one. But some people don't, jump on opportunity or see opportunity as some of the rest of us do. So, however, there are those other times where you just need to slow down. You just need to slow down. You just have to, take a minute and slow down. And so that is one of the things that I actually love to help people with. Just take a minute and slow down. Feel into your body, see how your body feels. See how your body feels, because a lot of times, especially I can say as a woman, a lot of times we are so busy doing for other people. you know I know at one time I don't even know how I felt, and I didn't have time to think about it. Exactly, you got to focus on, Tracy said, I have to slow down, have to focus only on one thing at a time. Exactly. And this is the thing. Sometimes it's difficult to do, especially if we're used to doing all the things at once. Because I can say for myself, I used to work 4 jobs, sometimes 3, 4. It was normal for me to at least have 2 jobs, sometimes 3, sometimes 4. I had all these jobs. I did. And I also was raising kids, and I was raising my kids, and then I was raising other people's kids. So I had a lot of stuff going on, and I was married. So I had all the things. I had a house to run. I had, you know, um, work to do, and then I also always had some little side business, because I always knew that I was supposed to be an entrepreneur, that I'm not supposed to work for people. And so, it's a struggle even now to work for people, because I know I'm not supposed to be doing that. However, I do understand the process. Now I understand the process. So, as you begin to understand and learn yourself, as you begin to do that, this is such a great accomplishment. I feel like I have climbed Mount Everest, and that was is something that is not on my bucket list to do. I think that people that do that are amazing, but that was just is not my thing to do. But I feel like it was something that I have accomplished, and I've done this thing, and I'm doing this thing, because healing is a lifelong journey. It's not something that happens in a minute, and it's not something that occurs, overnight. A lot of times there are spontaneous healings. Don't get me wrong. I have actually participated in them, so I know that they exist. However, many times it is a process, and it is a journey. And what I love to do is help people to enjoy that journey. Because the thing is people make things so complicated. And I understand that as well, because I have been there and done that. There are times now where I have to say, Tammy, don't make this complicated. And I say that to myself, Tammy, this is easy. Because one of the things that I have connected with my spiritual team, with my guides, with my angels, with the archangels, with the ancestors, is my work is easy and it flows. But this is something that I have taught myself, and that I've been training myself to say. you know Tracy said no mountain climbing for me neither. Yeah, no, that's for other people to do. And you know what, I appreciate them. And I love to watch it, and I like to see that people have done it. But that's just not anything that I'm going to do. No. just not. Mm-mm. I like to do rock climbing like in the gym. You know, I can do that. There's actually something that they're making now where I live. It used to be a Toys R Us, so they're making so it's huge. So they're making it into like a place where you can have rock climbing and trampolining and all these things. And I looked at my husband and I said, "Ooh, I would like to go there and do the rock climbing." And he said, "Okay, I'll watch you." And that's how I feel about people climbing Mount Everest and these mountains and stuff. I think that's a fabulous thing to do, but I'm not. That's not for me to do. You know, it's for me to watch. And that's another thing when you are awakening the healer that's within you, that you begin to recognize what it is for you to do, because everybody is not supposed to do everything. You know, and you can encourage people all you want. Somebody can come and encourage me and say, "Hey, come climb Mount Everest with me. We have a team. We're going to do this thing." And I'm going to say, "Yeah, well, do you want me to support you or something?" Do you want me to support you or something? Do you need, me to, bless you with some money or something? But no, that's not something I'm going to do. You know? So I'm super, excited about even being able to share this, because this is something that has been on my heart for so long, and I actually got into this space because I went through my own dark night of the soul. I actually left where I was living and took a 2,000-mile trip across the country. I was living in South Carolina and I moved to Arizona, and I just packed everything in my car that I could take and left. Just moved and went to, I did like Abraham. I went to a place where I barely knew anybody. I had one cousin that allowed me to stay in her house, and that was like all I needed, because all I needed was just a place to lay my head. So I did that, and I was at a place where nothing seemed to be going right in my life. I had a relationship that I had to get out of, and I needed to get away from that man. And so I was like, okay, something has to give. And so I began to pray. And the Spirit spoke to me in the middle of the night. I was at work, and the Spirit spoke to me and said, "It's time for you to leave this place." I said, "Okay." And so I spoke to one of my friends at work, and she said, "Oh, we get off at 7 o'clock." And I said, "No, I don't think that's what that meant." And so I began to dig into that, and I began to do just what I'm sharing with you. I began to write it down, and I began to write down, what do I want and where do I want to go? And I knew that there was a period of time where I wanted to get married again because I was divorced. And this relationship clearly was not working out, and I knew it wasn't. And I said, no, I'm not going to do this. Um, the man had asked me to marry him and all this stuff, but I was like, no, you're not, you're not the one. And he didn't really like the fact that I said that. So yeah, so I said, okay, gotta go. So when the opportunity presented itself for me to leave, I just left. And to be honest with you, it was such a crazy time in my life because I had worked and I knew I was going, so I had paid like my car note up, because I had at the time an astronomical car note. So I paid that up like a couple of months so I could not have to worry about that when I left, because I knew I was leaving without a job, so I had to find a job, all these things. And I took this step, and I just left. I didn't know anybody but my one cousin where I went. And I left a place where I had been living for probably about 15, 16, 17 years or something like that. I had raised my children there. And all my children were grown, so I sat them down. I said, "Listen, it's time for mama to go." And the funny thing is it was time for all of us to go because they left over the years after that. A little bit later, they all left. So they're all living in Texas now. But it was just amazing, just the time that, you know, I took that step, and I listened. And then after that, I met one of my mentors that helped me to learn about energy, and he helped me to learn about energy, and he helped me to learn about the Bach flower essences, and he helped me to learn about myself. And that was so amazing. And it's awesome how that happens, because he was a person that dropped into my life to help me to get to another place when I was going through all this turmoil and all this stuff. Because, sometimes when Spirit God tells you to do something, we all think that, okay, everything is just going to be peachy from there because God told me to do this. But that is not always the case. I can say in my life, it has never been the case. However, I knew that I had what it took to do the thing that I'm being called to do. And so this journey for me began. So I started learning Reiki. And that was, I tell people that to me, Reiki for me was like a gateway energy healing. Like they say marijuana is a gateway drug, whatever. But Reiki was like a gateway energy healing. It was the open door, the gate for me to begin to connect to energy and to really begin to connect to God on a huge level. So um, I began to do that, and I learned Reiki. And then I found Theta Healing, and I learned that because that actually resonated more for me than Reiki, because I am so connected to God and to the creator of all that is. And that is one of the things, the central themes of that particular modality. So I learned that, and then what else did I take? I took Sacred Soul Alignments, and then I took a whole bunch of other little courses in the middle of all that. Spent a whole shit ton of money taking courses and learning, about healing and learning about energy and how to shift and move. And then I learned that I've always done that. That is something that was natural for me in my life. I just didn't know that that was what I was doing. I knew that I was a healer since I was 3 years old, because my grandmother used to go to little churches and do healing services. Hey, thank you for joining. They would go to little churches and do healing services, and she would call me up to lay hands on people, and they would get healing. So I knew that from that time in my life. However, life hits you in different places. You do stupid stuff, you marry the wrong people, and then, you have kids, and you have to, do the things that you have to do to take care of them and be a mom and all these other things. And so things just hit you and come. But when the right time comes, when it's time for you to step into this place that you're being called to, and that you're moving to, everything starts to fall in place for you. But it doesn't always look like a fairy tale. It doesn't always look like Cinderella. It doesn't always look like you get the prince. It doesn't look like that. However, for me, it was time for me to do that. It was time for me to step into that place. And so I was able to meet my husband, which was something, because he actually had left where he was from, or where he was living, for years, and came out there where I was at. So it was like, I knew that it was, it was God, because we met, and um, were we instantly knew. I mean, right, the first date, I knew, and he did as well. And so that was something, because it was something I wanted. But to be honest, I wasn't looking at all. I wasn't looking at all. I was not even looking. I was like, you know what? I just need to get myself together and decide what I want to do. And, because I knew that my career, I've been doing it for almost 30 years now. And I knew that that was not something that I wanted to be doing another 30 years. My mom, she's been a nurse for 50 years. And I knew that could not be my story, because I just don't want to do it, but I knew that I needed to step into where the Spirit was calling me. And so that began my journey of awakening the healer that is within me, and then allowing me to be able to step into this place where I can help other people on this journey. So that is my story. And that is something that I felt I had to share. Apparently today there may be people listening that needed to hear, that story, because, sometimes we look at people and we see them, what they're doing, where they are, and we don't know their story. We don't know where they came from. And we make judgments on that, and I'm guilty as well. I've done that as well. That is another thing that I have decided to work on within myself, because you know what? We're not supposed to judge. We're not supposed to do it. And so that is one of the things that I work on as well, but I know that it happens. So, I felt compelled today to share that with you, just to let you know that, there's always a place that people come from, and we don't always know people's story, and they used to say a lot of times in the church, you see the glory, but you don't know the story. You don't know what they went through to get to that place. You see them driving whatever they're driving, a BMW, whatever, Mercedes or whatever, but you don't know the time when they were, um, almost homeless. Yes, yes, that was like amazing, because I knew that it was something, I needed and I wanted. And it's like I wrote down the things that I wanted. That was another thing. I wrote down what I wanted. I wrote down what I wanted in a husband. I wasn't looking, like I said, I wasn't looking. To be honest with you, I was just wanting to be alone. because when you get out of a crazy relationship, you just want to be by yourself. You just want to chill. You just want to relax, you know. But God saw fit to send me, my amazing husband. And he is amazing, super supportive, and loves me like Christ loves the church, is what I say. And so, anyway, that to say that that is a journey, and same thing with the healing. It is a journey. So, speaking of journey, I'm going to take you guys on a journey, a short journey today, and we're going to go and we're going to drop into our heart, because that is where the healing is going to happen. You have to connect to your heart, and a lot of times people don't recognize and realize that that is what they need to do. And so many times, and I see it so much, and it hurts my heart to see that people just refuse to connect. They refuse to allow. And sometimes it's people that are religious, which I just don't even understand, but then I do. And the thing is you have to connect, to your creator, to God, to source, to universe, whoever it is that you recognize. But you have to connect. You have to do it, and you have to connect through your heart. So, right now, if you are available and you are not driving or operating heavy machinery or otherwise occupied, join me in this short journey. And if you are, you can come back and catch the replay, because it's going to be probably, a good 5 minutes or so, and then we'll be done. So, again, I'm inviting you. If you are listening or watching, then you are giving me permission to connect, and bring you this healing. So, close your eyes for me and take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Another one, in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more time, in through the nose. Then we're going to hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to blow it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I want you to see, feel, or imagine a bright light coming from the heavens all the way into your crown chakra, into your third eye, into your throat chakra, and into your heart. And I want you to allow it to expand there and feel the expansion. Feel the green light that is just pulsating within your heart. Ah, there it is. And then I want you to drop that light all the way down through your sacral, your solar plexus, your root chakra, all the way down through your legs and your feet, all the way into the heart of Mother Earth, all the way through all the rocks and all the grime and all the sludge. Go all the way down into the heart of Mother Earth. And then as you do that, anchor it there once you're in the heart, and feel the heart to heart connection between yourself and Mother Earth. And then I want you to shoot that light all the way up all the way into your heart, all the way up through your throat, your third eye, your crown chakra, all the way up, up, up into the heart of Christ consciousness. And I want you to anchor it there. And then I want you to take a moment and feel the connection between the heart of Christ consciousness, your heart, and the heart of Gaia or Mother Earth. Feel that connection. Feel that connection. And then I want you to bring that light down. And then I want you to look out and see beautiful ball light. And then you look and you'll see yourself in the center of it. And as you look around and you see all the beautiful light, looks like an amazing rainbow. And then the ball will drop down. There's a hole in the earth. You'll drop down inside of the ball into the earth. And there you are grounded. Take a deep breath. And then I want you to try this. Take your hands and rub your hands together. Take your hands and rub your hands together, making sure that you rub each finger. And then hold your hands in front of you, slightly apart, slightly apart. If you have problems visualizing, just think red. Think red. Think red energy. You might feel some heat in your hands. You might feel some heat in your hands. Red contains unlimited energy, vitality, and power. Identify where your body feels tired and weak, and then place your hands on that part of your body and breathe in red. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, and then release. Do this as if you're trying to drink it into your body. So, as if you're trying to drink the red, breathe in the red. And I like to swallow. That way I know I'm drinking it in. Now allow this red to expand in your body while you're taking slow, deep breaths. Slow, deep breaths. You should feel revitalized. You can also move your hand around your body, making the red throughout your whole body. Note, if you have an area that's inflamed, you might want to do red, or if you have a headache, because it'll intensify it, you might want to do another color. However, today we're focusing on red. So thank you so much. Now you can take a deep breath and open your eyes. I hope that was amazing as it was for you, for me, that it was for me, for you, that it was for me. Every time I take those journeys and I bring other people through, I go through as well. And that is one of the most amazing things about this work that I do. Because, not only am I helping other people to heal, but I'm healing as well. Because I don't know if you saw that, but I put my hand on my neck because that was where I was feeling tired, and that was where I was feeling like I needed to be revitalized, because I work 12 hours on the weekend, and so Monday is usually my downtime. Which is why I'm switching this series to Tuesdays, because it's just, yeah, it seems it'll probably work out better for me. So make sure that you join me on Tuesdays. That'll start next week, because I'll do the last Wednesday of this week for that session. But that'll start next week on Tuesdays. Make sure that you're joining me. I'll definitely put up a post and um, so that you can see, when I'm coming on, because I think that helps people, because I don't know. Facebook is not always showing people, and I'm using StreamYard. So if you haven't used StreamYard before, make sure that you click on StreamYard.com/Facebook to give them permission so that I can see the comments like Tracy. So, again, thank you so much for joining me, Tracy. Thank you for joining me, and everyone else that catches the replay and that are watching, because sometimes you can't see people watching. So, I just want to welcome you and thank you for joining me. And yeah, and so I'll be doing a 5-day series coming. Okay, so I guess I won't do Wednesday, but I'll be doing a 5-day series coming, talking about healing and talking about the quantum healing, and we'll be going over some of the chakras and those type of things. So if that is something that is interesting to you and that you are interested in, if you know some people that are interested, make sure that you pass this along. It'll be starting tomorrow on Tuesday. I also put a post up about that as well. Um, I've got to look at the times. I'm thinking probably somewhere around this time is going to be best for me, because I got a lot of things happening in the evening, and Tuesdays I actually record for my podcast, which, if you are a person that is changing the planet and you would like to come on my show, which is going to also be on Mupo Entertainment, make sure that you hit me up. Send me a message, comment on wherever you're watching this, and we'll see how we can get you scheduled. And my schedule is filling up for the rest of the year. So if it's something that you're interested in, you want to do, make sure that you let me know, because I think that September is almost full. August is full. September is almost full, and October is already filling up. So let me know if that's something that you're interested in. And I will definitely be back again on tomorrow, and we'll start that amazing series. I'm so excited about it. I cannot wait. So, again, thank you for joining me, and have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, night, whenever you're catching this. Bye now.